Okay, so in the last several videos, we've talked about selecting elements, and how do we get those elements? We get them by using these three methods, which we've talked about extensively. So we can kind of take a break from these methods now. We can kind of move on. But now we're actually going to start changing content. We've changed the CSS styles, but now we're actually going to replace content. And so how do we do that? Well, we can use that with the innerHTML property, which we're going to talk about in this video. That's one of the ways that we can actually replace the content itself. So we're actually going to use the same exact code we used in the last video, but we're going to alter it a little bit. What I did here is I just changed this a little bit. I just said hit submit for some new text. I put in some text here in our first paragraph, and I put in some text in our second paragraph. And what we want to do is actually completely replace this text. So what we want to do is when we hit this button, we want this actually to say new text 1, and we want this to say new text 2. So let's bounce over to our JavaScript code that we used in the last video. And you can see here we're doing exactly what we did in the last video. We're using the get elements by class name to get our elements. And again, we're going by class name. We have 2 elements, and then we have to specify the node for each. So that's all going to stay the same, but we're not going to change the CSS styles now. So we're going to get rid of these. What we want to do is specify innerHTML here, and that allows us to write new content to our paragraph element. And this is a property. It's not a method. It's actually just a property of our object, our paragraph object. So what we're going to type in here is innerHTML, and then we need to assign a value, which is going to be our new string that we want to write out. And we're going to say new text 1. And then let's just copy and paste this in here. And now we're going to say new text 2 for our second paragraph. And let's go ahead and run this. And if we hit the submit button, we get our new content, which in this case is text. So that's what we're doing here. We are writing out completely new content using the innerHTML property. Now, in this video, we just wrote out the text, but there actually is a way just to read the content, and we'll do that in the next video. See you guys then.